everyone, it's Chuck. I want to start by thanking Liz for giving me a couple of minutes to speak with you all today. And of course, thank you all for engaging in this important and challenging conversation around disability. It's something that we don't talk about a lot in our society. And so I appreciate you all so much for taking the time and effort to engage in this today. My goal over the next couple of minutes is to just give you a quick perspective on what it's like to live as a disabled person. You know, there's negative aspects to it, there's positive aspects to it, and I hope that after I've been done speaking, you'll have a little bit better appreciation for, what it's like to live with a disability. So to begin with, we still live in an ableist society that views disability in a really negative way. Perhaps the most impactful example I can give you of this is when I was going to the grocery store a few months ago, a person looked at me and said, "Well, at least I'm not like him." And this was an offhand comment to his friend, but it really hurt me. It really showed me that this person, no matter what he'd been going through, apparently he'd been having a bad day or something, he still was happy he wasn't disabled. He was still happy he wasn't like me. And that really hurt. I've been very successful in my life. I've been lucky enough to travel to 3 Paralympic Games. I've been working on my PhD. I've done a lot of great things in my life. But in that moment, I was just reduced to something this person didn't want to be. And that was really hurtful. And it shows how our society still has a very negative attitude towards disability. And a second quick example I can give you about disability, how it still challenges in our society in a very discriminatory way, is the other day I went to make a reservation at a restaurant and I was very excited to go. And when I called to find out if I could get into my wheelchair, they said no. They simply didn't have a wheelchair accessible entrance. And so I couldn't go to this place. In 2021, I wasn't able to go out to a restaurant I wanted to eat at because they weren't accessible. This is the realities that we still face in our society as disabled folks, and something that still is a challenge that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. But I don't want to be all doom and gloom and make it seem like having a disability is just the worst thing ever. I've been really lucky in my life to be empowered in so many incredible ways, surrounded by such a great community of people with disabilities who are just like me, who've taught me how to be more successful in life as a person, be adaptable, and to be successful, as I mentioned before, in my sports. Having a disability forces you to adapt and learn and how to get creative in all kinds of situations. And that skill really extends whether into your life, your professional career, or anything beyond that. I'm lucky to have been able to thrive with my disability, and I hope that is something that you all, as members of the DLT, can take forward when you engage with students for the first time on the Bryn Mawr campus. I spent a lot of time at Bryn Mawr, and it's a wonderful place, but it still has a long way to go in terms of accessibility and being welcoming to folks with disabilities. So I encourage you all to really think concretely about the language you use when you talk about disability, how you engage about this topic, and make sure that you as leaders are being welcoming to students, no matter what their ability is, so that we can all thrive together.